Hello, my creatures. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, hello, you are now cursed. We are going to be talking about, I'm gonna talk a little bit about Final Destination Bloodlines. I was feeling kind of crazy and I watched every single Final Destinations from the first two Bloodlines that just came out. And I was in my notes app just clocking every single death so that I can make this video. What I'm going to do is rank out of every single movie. I'm taking 10 deaths that I would be most scared of, starting 10 and going down to 1 of what I think my biggest fear of happening to me would be. This isn't gonna be ranked on most gruesome or most outlandish or weird and crazy deaths. This is legit fear of it could potentially happen. But first, I just want to say Bloodlines was amazing. I would say the first 3 Final Destinations were my favorites. I think 2 and 3, probably 2 being my favorite out of all of them. 4 and 5, meh. But you don't have to necessarily see all of the Final Destinations to see Bloodlines, but there was a lot of callbacks in Bloodlines that were so iconic. I'm gonna talk about Bloodlines, so if you haven't seen it, maybe skip to the ranking because there's gonna be some spoilies. So I loved the fact that they had so many callbacks. I loved how the last death in Bloodlines was the logs that took me out. It was just beautiful. Also, Tony Todd being able to close off the Final Destinations is beautiful, and I loved how they tied his story up and it made sense with the rest of the franchise. It was tied up neat in a little package, in a little bow, and it was just, I think it was the best way to end the Final Destinations. With that being said, let's move on to the rankings. Remember, these are realistic, would be scary to me. This is not everybody's ranking. So let me know though. Let me know your rankings. Let me know what you would be most scared of out of every single movie. Starting with number 10. In Final Destination 4, the pool scene where he drops his coin, his quarter or whatever it was, which is also a callback in Bloodlines, by the way. He drops this coin and it falls into the pool, goes into the pipe, gets stuck. The PSI levels start rising. The pool starts draining. The pressure's going crazy. Okay, he dives into the pool, and his butt gets sucked, and his butt's getting sucked through this drain, and the PSI levels are now going crazy off the charts. And it ends up sucking all of his organs straight out of his fucking ass. And he dies. And yeah, that's number 10 for me. I don't know. I like swimming. I like to swim. This could happen. And I always have thought, I've always had a fear of deep pools, or just pools in general, of the mechanisms inside of pools, the drains or the vents or whatever. I'm always scared I'm gonna get sucked into them. I've always had that fear. So yeah, I think this one is a very valid one, and it sits at number 10. Moving on to number 9. Number 9, Burger King foot lettuce. Number 9 is in Final Destinations 2. This girl's in the elevator and there's a guy with a box of hooks, metal shit behind her, and she gets a phone call and they're like, "You're gonna die, a guy with hooks is gonna kill you." And she starts freaking out and her hair gets caught in the metal, and she tries to leave the elevator while her hair is still caught, and the elevator closes in on her head, and then of course we know that it goes down and she gets decapitated. So, yeah, this has also been something I've had intrusive, weird thoughts about is elevator shit. Elevators also scare me, getting caught in it. Ever since actually Resident Evil with the elevator scene where she also gets decapitated, it's always been a fear of mine. So that's something I always think about when getting into an elevator is the Resident Evil scene. So now I have double the trauma. So yeah, that's going at number 9. Number 8 is gonna be in Bloodlines, the death where there's a piece of grass in the lawn and he steps on it and that causes him to, you know, hobble around, and then there's a rake and he tips over the rake and then the rake falls onto the lawnmower and it turns the lawnmower on and he's hobbling around with his foot and then he falls and the mower starts going by itself and runs over his face and he gets shredded up. That one, I don't know why it's number 8 because I don't mow lawns. Guys, stay away from mechanical, fucking go on their own lawnmowers. I don't think I've ever had the fear of a lawnmower till I saw that. So now, yeah, that's gonna sit at number 8 for me, just for the fact of like your face getting super mutilated like that. Number 7 is also in Bloodlines. Number 7 is a premonition. In Final Destination, there are like the premonition deaths and actual deaths. So some of these will be premonitions. I'm going to say that right now. So anyway, number 7 is the premonition from Bloodlines, the very first initial premonition where it's the Skyview Space Needle type thing and they're up there and the glass is shattering, people are falling, the whole building falls over, people are falling from the sky, she gets degloved. It's horrific. That one holds a special place in my fears because of, well, Las Vegas, and also Seattle is not too far away from me now. So Space Needle I'm avoiding at all costs, but I had a fear of the Las Vegas stratosphere. When I was little, thought I was fine. I went up on it. I was gonna do one of the rides. I was like 10, okay, mind you. Last minute, I had like a panic attack as soon as I got up there because I didn't realize how actually scary it was to be that high and then get on a ride. And I had that freak out of like, this is scary. I can't do this. And so, yeah. And that's not even the building falling. That's just general anxiety of being that high up. So yeah, Space Needle, stratosphere, buildings that skinny and tall, a little scary. So that's going at number 7 for me. Speaking of rides and roller coasters and such, number 6 is the Final Destination 3 premonition, the initial roller coaster premonition. Yeah. Every time I've gotten onto an amusement ride, I've always thought about, I might die right now. This might be my last ride. And I always think about it because I've seen videos online of malfunctions and, you know, it's just common. I mean, it's common for rides to malfunction, but I guess it's less common for like deaths, but it's still up there. I still go on rides, but I will say I will never do rides at the fair or like smaller event rides. Not touching those. Never touching those because they're usually operated and they're set up and taken down like the same day. Those are robots of death. But I will go on like, you know, mainstream big amusement park rides. So yeah. Now number 5 is also, it's not a death. Well, the initial one isn't a death, but it's a kind of a combination. These are also from Bloodlines. The guy with the septum piercing. It's the trailer for Bloodlines, which wasn't to death, but getting your septum caught in like a chain and then having it yanked, and then as a septum girly, I can't imagine. I don't know what I would do in that situation. But fuck, that freaked me out. But then, okay, later on, he actually does die because his piercings, all of them, all his face piercings, nipple piercings, and Johnson piercing, okay, gets sucked because the MRI scanner at the hospital is like on to the max by accident, and he gets fucking sucked with all his piercings into the machine. And yeah, I don't know. As a girly with piercings, I don't want to fuck with that shit. That freaks me out. Now I just need to stay away from any magnets forever. And also chains. It's fine. It's fine. Number 4. This is from Final Destinations 4. The premonition of the movie theater exploding, and then they run out and they're going up or they're going down or up the escalator, but then the escalator is like it's breaking, so she gets sucked down into like the whole mechanism and the pulley, and it fucking grinds her legs. I have also had that intrusive thought a lot about either getting stuck inside of an escalator, like clothes getting stuck and getting sucked in, or it just all of a sudden breaking and then getting sucked. Escalators freak me out a little bit because escalators are common. Most places you go to that, you know, are in public, a lot of them have escalators, so it's something you have to deal with a lot. I try to avoid them if I can, but they still scare me. Now, number 3 is a big fear for me because I live in a state and city that has a lot of bridges. I live in Portland, Oregon. This whole city is bridges and bridges and bridges. So every time I'm driving and I'm on a bridge, I always think about it like either falling and collapsing, or like me like getting into an accident and then getting fucking driven off the cliff, the bridge, you know. Even though I love them, they're so beautiful. Like I adore bridges. I love driving on them, but I can't help but think about it. So number 3 is Final Destination 5, and it's a premonition, the first initial one, about them on a bus. They're driving across this huge bridge, and all of a sudden the fucking bridge is caving in on itself. It's breaking. Cars are falling, people are falling, everything's insane. And yeah, that's like literally my vision every time I'm on a bridge. So, but I'm so nonchalant about it. I'm so nonchalant. I'm just in my car, so happy. I'm going across this pretty bridge. Let me just look at the pretty views. Ignore my intrusive thoughts. And I think this one is going to be a lot of people's in their top 3. But of course, it's Final Destinations 1, Premonition, which is also true. The plane crash. The plane crash. I think that's a lot of people's biggest fears. We're always thinking about the worst possible outcome while traveling, and that's one of them. And especially lately with, you know, all these plane crashes, it's kind of scary right now, even more than it has been. So yeah, that's always been a fear of mine, even before, you know, this movie. Let me know if this is in your top 3. I feel like it's a common fear. Number 1. I feel like this also might be in a lot of people's top. But also, again, with me living in the Pacific Northwest, these trucks are more common. Especially, I've seen a lot of them going to the coast. The log trucks. The log truck from Final Destination 2. That one's a premonition. But also true. One of my biggest fears that I always just have general kind of like driving anxiety because I always fear car crashes. It's just a day-to-day thing, you know. It's a common fear. But fucking log truck, especially any truck that's like carrying large things in the back, or like car carrier trucks that are carrying a bunch of cars, I just immediately am thinking of them projectile into my fucking car, into me, always. So yeah, I refuse to drive behind a log truck. If I'm going to the coast and there's a log truck in front of me, I'm pulling over and I'm waiting like 5 minutes and then I'm gonna go. So yeah, now I'm traumatized. Let me know if we share some of the same biggest fears, or what your top 3 are. I need to know. And if you haven't seen Bloodlines yet, even though I just spoiled some of the deaths, I think you should still go watch it. It was really cutesy. Like, it's funny to say call Final Destinations cutesy, but the way it all transpired, and like they kind of made it silly goofy. I mean, all of them are pretty silly goofy, but yeah, go watch it. And thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoy this. It was just a random idea that popped in my head when I was watching these movies, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this. So here I am doing it. Yeah, I look forward to more movie shit. I'm trying to stay on top of watching new horror movies, trying to stay on top of doing reviews, but I've been bad at that since Nosferatu. I really hit the head on the nail. And hit the nail on the head with that one. I've been trying, but I've been really shit at it. If you want to come follow me and watch me on Twitch, I stream 4 nights a week. Mondays, Tuesdays, Fridays, Saturdays. I'm there. Come hang out. Have a good day, and I will see you very soon. Mwah.